We're here with these low speeds, but too many cars, and the watch commander said that they are not allowed to do a pit right now.
If he's doing that on purpose, you know, getting behind all these vehicles, even though it is slow-moving traffic, you know, knowing that nothing's really going to happen, at least it hasn't so far in terms of them trying to do a pit maneuver. There he is, you know, right behind another pickup truck. So
getting stuck in between a concrete hauler there and a pickup truck. So Des, do you know the reason why they are not allowing a pit maneuver?
I'm guessing it's because of the heavy traffic. Just kind of the times that we're in. From my observances, LA County Sheriff's deputies tend to be, I would judge, the most conservative of the law enforcement agencies when it comes to pursuits. I mean, there's so many times where they just give up on a pursuit completely because they don't want to get involved in any potential danger to the public. So it's kind of mildly surprising that they're even continuing this pursuit in the beginning. So really not surprised at all that they do not want to do any pit maneuvers. There's a lot of people out here, even though speeds aren't high, you never know what might happen. If the pit maneuver doesn't go the right way and the vehicle spins around, goes onto the sidewalk, and you know, you could hit a pedestrian or you could potentially injure an innocent person. So that's my guess as to why we are most likely not going to see a pit maneuver right now with this pursuit.
All right, we can see the drivers, the window down on the driver's side of this vehicle. Can't really. Well, thanks for trying to get inside there. Okay, it looks like they're hanging out. Are they trying to say something to officers, Desmond? Sort of looks that way.
Yeah, it does kind of look like that. Actually, here, let's put in the extra zoom and see if we can see this person's face. So it looks like a guy driving here, and you're right. He's just kind of sticking his head out the window with some choice words for the sheriff's deputies. I believe I heard the helicopter say that they think there's 2 people inside. We'll see if at some point we're able to get a better look through the windshield of this vehicle. But yeah, sticking their head out the window and saying some stuff. Certainly not the first time we've seen this before with a pursuit suspect. I mean, just at the very least, we're not seeing them blow through red lights and drive like a maniac, but still obviously not stopping. Let's put the speedometer back up here. Just put it down because we were so low. So yeah, you see here just 25, 30. We're getting above 30 miles an hour now for the very first time on this pursuit as we continue down Soto Street. Again, this started with East LA Sheriff's deputies, so pretty close to the Monterey Park area. We heard them heading through the Commerce area. It's been, I believe, only on surface streets to my knowledge. This has not been on any of the freeways at any point. And we'll just widen out and show you how many deputies we have on this. You see at least 3 or 4, but I think there might actually be 6 or 7 all the way back there in the back of the shot. Just probably because they've all been able to kind of bunch up because this driver has not been going this quickly, although now we're getting up to about 50 miles an hour, so we'll see if the driving changes here with the suspect.
This appears to be a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Pat, this person behind the wheel there obviously is talking, agitated enough at least to get back and to talk. And you've heard of that term, drive it like you stole it. Well, he stole it because this is a stolen vehicle, but it doesn't appear to be driving aggressively at this point in time.
It's almost as if, do we know how this was called in, Desmond?
We haven't heard the specifics, but a lot of times, you know, these stolen vehicles are put into a database that all law enforcement nationwide can actually see. And so if you have one of those cruisers that has the ability to scan a license plate and it's in that system, it'll just come up, you know, with a notification that this vehicle has been reported stolen. And that's when you'll typically have, you know, deputies, officers, whatever agency, get everyone in position. They want to get a helicopter overhead and several backup units before they even make an attempt to pull the vehicle over. And that's what they did. And, you know, maybe half the time, or maybe even a little bit more than that, folks decide they're going to pull over and they surrender. The rest of the time, we get something like this, where they decide they're going to just keep on going. But it's just one of those pursuits where not stopping, but, oh, what's this? Got something out of his, holding something out.
Some papers.
Like some papers?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe some, or a book or some rolled up papers or something got hanging out the window. So
what is
very weird.
The ownership paper?
I was going to say the registration.
You know what's weird about this too, guys? And it really doesn't matter if it was stolen or not. If the police are asking you to pull over, you're supposed to pull over, no matter what. Right?
Yeah. If he feels like he didn't steal this vehicle, he should pull over and
anyway,
then, you know, let the the facts come out, be that as it may. But yeah, I don't imagine what he could be holding out there other than maybe license and registration. It looked like a white piece of paper, maybe insurance
looked like
of some
several,
sort.
Jeff, from what I could see, it looked like a number of papers folded over.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's registration is not that much. Right?
No, that's normally what people do. Obviously, when police pull you over, you have to show them your license and registration, insurance. Not saying that that's exactly what it is, but it would lead us to believe that maybe he thinks that he didn't steal the car and that he is wronged in that regard, and though maybe he's trying. But you should just pull over.
You don't hold it out the window, right?
No, this is odd behavior for sure.
Yeah. So Desmond, what else do we know about this? Well, he's on. Oh, I thought I saw. Yes, South. He's still on South Soto and East 44th Street. Southgate.
Yeah, as we're now getting into Southgate, we're going to start to cross a lot of little municipalities here as we head southbound. Just heard from the assignment desk that this was allegedly reported stolen yesterday. So, you know, you as you were saying, you know, motioning out if those were the registration papers or if this guy feels like it's wronged. You know, it has happened. Obviously, we're not saying that this is what is happening in this instance, but there have been times where, you know, if someone rented a car or something and if they kept it too long, it has been reported stolen or something like that. Obviously, we have no idea if it's a situation like that or if this person, you know, who knows what those papers are. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Deputies' windows are up. This guy hanging his head and some papers out the window. Whatever he's trying to say, and hear him. They're talking over the dispatch radios as well, coordinating with the airship and trying to make a plan on how they're going to bring this to an end. So you always wonder what these people are thinking. But at the very least, they're obeying all the other traffic laws, except, of course, the most important one, failure to yield.
You know, we've also seen in just recent times, and over weeks or so, these stolen vehicle pursuits. Sometimes the officers will just back off altogether since they have the plates and they can run them, but it's generally because of presenting a danger to the public, driving just very recklessly and what have you. So it'll be interesting to see how this actually comes to an end, if they actually continue to follow this person, if the person will pull over at some point, or if they do something different.
And maybe that's the reason why they're staying with him, is because he is really not doing anything aggressive, you know, staying on the red light, even allowing a pedestrian to cross in front of them. There's no aggressive behavior from the driver of this stolen Jeep Grand Cherokee. He is doesn't appear to be a danger right now to anybody, so you got to think maybe that's the reason why they haven't stopped this pursuit, because it's just kind of going around at the street speed limits.
Yeah, we're trying to ascertain if it's just the driver in this vehicle. Don't know for sure. And Desmond, I don't know if you have any other updated information from our assignment desk or from what you've been able to hear on the scanners there, but they are still following this driver, as we know.
Oh, really? Oh.
Okay, Des.
Yeah, Pat, sorry, I was just communicating with my pilot on the assignment desk telling me that not only is there a female passenger, but there may be a dog in the car as well, which really hate hearing about whenever we're in a pursuit with an innocent animal in the back. No idea what kind of dog it is. But now, you know, we're hearing that a pit maneuver has been authorized. So certainly hope that dog is anchored down or in a seatbelt or something. We'll see what happens if they're able to do that. And if they do, let's see if that's going to bring this to an end or if that's going to agitate the suspect. You know, there are times where pursuits start off kind of like this, where they're, you know, obeying all the laws except for pulling over for police, and then they do a pit maneuver, and then that really agitates the suspect. So let's see if they do that in this heavy traffic. It's going to be really difficult for them to do a pit maneuver on Soto Street. You see just how congested this street is, and it's basically like this for the entire length of the street, especially at this time of day. But if they get a chance, we may see a pit maneuver happen. I'm also hearing some talk about spike strips. The suspect's been on the same street since we went to air when they made that turn from Olympic and southbound on Soto, pretty much staying in the same lane the whole time. So we might see a pit and or some spike strips whenever deputies feel they have the best opportunity.
They have to be prepared, of course, too, as well, because there's not only the driver, but a passenger and a dog. You never know what the behavior of the dog is going to be. There's a number of people we've seen as pedestrians on the sidewalk and crosswalks, Pat, so obviously this pit maneuver has been approved, but they're going to do it in the most desirable place that they can with the least amount of damage, if you will.
And, you know, I was going to say you would hope that with someone else in the vehicle, you know, and a dog, possibly telling the driver, let's just pull over, But, you know, we've also seen a number of cases where the other person in the vehicle, you know, they are taking part in this and really have no say-so, I guess, as to the safety of themselves, actually. Because if you talk about police officers following you and you're not pulling over, you know, anything could happen.
Yeah, they've really given him a lot of chances to pull over, because this has been going on now for at least 15 minutes here. Of course, this is the very top of the hour at 5 o'clock here on CBS 2. This is the latest police pursuit in LA. This is the Sheriff's Department behind a Jeep Grand Cherokee. We believe this is a stolen vehicle. This is Miles Avenue and Randolph and South Gate, East Los Angeles. Driver and a passenger and a dog inside that vehicle.
Yeah, and we understand, according to our assignment desk, that this vehicle was reported stolen yesterday. So there could be a number of scenarios here. As we've been watching this since the beginning of the 5 o'clock hour, we've seen this driver roll down his window and display a number of papers rolled up, looking agitated, apparently talking to the officers behind him, not knowing obviously what he was saying. But, you know, we have our own little thoughts and surmises of what that could possibly be. We thought maybe he was trying to say, hey, I own this car, but that's not how you do it. And at the same time, he's still talking to them.
See a child in a stroller to the left. I hope that she stays there. You don't want to cross over in front of
and there's
a police
pedestrians
pursuit.
to the right as well.
Right. There's been quite a number of pedestrians in this area. Now she's backing up across the railroad tracks. It's good. Give the police officers a lot of space. Let's go back up to Desmond Shaw up in Sky 2. Des, we got two cruisers behind. We're stopped at a red light. We got the okay to do a pit maneuver, but nothing yet.
That's right. So we turned off of Soto Street, which is better news for a pit maneuver. We're now on Randolph Street, where you see this old railroad right-of-way in the middle. So this would be, in theory, a good street to do a pit maneuver, but then you see all the pedestrians. You just referenced the person there with the stroller, and there's 3 other people in the crosswalk right there. So we'll see. You do have some parked cars on the side as well, but you have this big center median, and definitely much lighter traffic than there was on Soto Street. So this may be a good place to do a pit maneuver, but now I'm hearing them talking more about spike strips than a pit. So we'll see if that comes into play here shortly. Now kind of stuck behind this tow truck that's taking up both of the lanes. Let's see if that is going to
moving out of the way.
Yeah, make the person go. And there is the spike strip. Wow, that looked like a pretty good one right there.
I don't know. I think it might have straddled it, though. I don't know if they actually got the rear tire or not. If they did, it would have been the left rear. It looked to me like they straddled the spike strip, that it went perpendicular to the vehicle and might have just missed it.
Well, that's enough to get their attention, though. What are you seeing happen? Is this a light that this person has stopped at, or a stop sign, or did they just stop on their own, Desmond? On Pacific Boulevard.
I'm sorry about that, Pat. I was getting some more information there. We'll listen to see from the deputies if they say good spike right there, which would mean that it was good, or they might say negative spike. But part of the issue is that not.
Well,
here we go. Here it comes.
It's going to
Here comes the pit attempt.
Wow.
And fishtailing. And this is what's kind of nerve-wracking. You see, fishtailing could have gone into the wrong side of the road there and into another vehicle. Not quite successful. Maybe a little bit more difficult to try to do the pit on one of these SUVs right here.
Well, he's
we'll
really
see
upset
how much
now.
that agitates this suspect. Part of the reason they were waiting is that, not all deputies are pit certified, so they had to wait for the lead pursuing deputy here for one to get in place that was pit certified. You saw that one was, but now we're going to see what happens now after that unsuccessful attempt. Obviously not deterring this person at all. Sometimes even just after they experience something like that, they've decided, okay, I've had enough. But obviously that is not what this person is thinking as they continue now. And we are headed up Pacific Boulevard and back towards downtown Los Angeles.
And let's remind our viewers also that there is a passenger in this car in the passenger seat, and we understand that there is also a dog in this vehicle. And with the spike strip that may not have been successful, but pit maneuver there, this person still decided to drive off. And now we're seeing speeds that we haven't seen before, driving in 60s. This is the highest rate of speed that we've seen since we've been on the air with you, Desmond. Which happens.
Yeah.
Which happens sometimes. Yeah. You expect either they're going to slow down and stop, or this person looked agitated and now he's taken off.
Yeah, and this is what authorities have to deal with when they make these decisions, and this is exactly why sometimes we see agencies give up pursuits, especially if it's for a property crime, is because this is what can tend to happen when we know that sometimes these end very, very badly for the public. You know, innocent people getting injured or worse. And all of a sudden, this pursuit has changed completely in the way that this person is driving much more desperately as they attempt to get away from sheriff's deputies on Santa Fe Street. And now you see, you know, people really having to get out of the way quickly for this person. Haven't seen them blow any red lights lately. Let's hope that that continues to be the case, because just, you know, so much rush hour traffic out here. Now you're getting speeds 50, 60, even up to 70 miles an hour at points, and it definitely appears that that spike attempt back there, as good as it looked, it must have just gone, like you said, Jeff, just straddled all four tires right in the middle of the vehicle there.
Yeah, it's just too bad
they
that
would
that
not
happened.
be able to get up to these speeds.
Yeah, we're showing the, if you will, the highlights. There's a pit maneuver right there that was unsuccessful, then the spike strip that was thrown out. And you know, Pat, it's just so hard for these officers to be able to do all of this, to try to track a car, get in front.
Now look at
when
how
it's
he's
going
driving
this,
now.
and now he's driving aggressive, and doing the best job they can to try to get that spike strip out there. Was unsuccessful. Now driving very aggressively. I think it's got to be going more than 30, 40 miles an hour there, but these surface streets, very dangerous. We saw all those pedestrians out.
And people with babies and strollers, and you know, they anticipated that something like this could happen. We've seen it time and time again, and again, it's really great on the efforts of the law enforcement, the sheriff's department, because they waited a while before they did that pit maneuver. Even as slow as this driver was going, they ruled it out and wanted to take their time, thinking the spike strip was going to help.
Opposite direction,
But
opposite
now
direction.
it's really going, making that wrong, that illegal turn there, going on East 15th Street and Imperial Street. And again, this driver is not in this vehicle by himself. We understand there's a female passenger and a dog in this stolen Grand Jeep Cherokee. And now this is the worst that we've seen in terms of driving recklessly. Picking up speed. Wow.
Just really escalated this. So, Des, these are desperate moments now. What was so calm and driving earlier is now aggressive and desperate moments from the driver here.
What are sheriff's deputies doing now, Des?
Absolutely. And well, they are backing off, Pat. Once they saw him driving on the wrong side of the road, they said, okay, let's go into surveillance mode. And then the watch commander said, nope, we're done completely. 1022, that means cancel. So now that means that the helicopter is not even allowed. Okay, now it sounds like they're changing their mind again. They're going to at least allow the helicopter overhead. They were initially going to say, no, we don't even want our helicopter overhead because it might just really be agitating this person. And now they are saying that they are at least going to keep the helicopter overhead and see how this pans out. If it continues to go like this, then they may have to cancel the helicopter as well. Obviously, they want to keep some form of eyes on this person if they can, and if there's an opportunity where these people get out of the vehicle and run, they could have, you know, a deputy nearby and guide them in exactly. But look at this wrong way driving again as we go underneath the 10 freeway and in all of this rush hour traffic on Hooper Avenue, another busy street. Oh, geez.
There's a lot of traffic.
Really, really close there.
I see.
Yeah, not even hesitating to get on the wrong side here.
Yeah, he is on the wrong side of the road.
Oh, boy.
Just very desperate here. So this is a vehicle, a driver of the vehicle wanted for a stolen vehicle. This is a Jeep Grand Cherokee. The center part of your screen now actually making contact with the vehicle. This will be the first time. Let's see if they stick with the vehicle or get out.
But he got close enough.
It was really close.
A turn out.
Yeah.
We understand there's a passenger, female passenger. The driver's a male. There's a dog also inside. A failed pit maneuver by LASD. Also a failed spike strip attempt. And we might want to bring those up in the inset boxes just to show you. This has been going on, Pat, now for better than 20 minutes.
Yeah, better than 20 minutes, and it's still going. But as Desmond just mentioned moments ago, for our viewers, the ground units have backed off this. They pulled off. They did keep the helicopter in the air, and of course our Desmond Shaw is overhead. But we've seen this happen time and time again. This was not something where people were in danger at first. He was driving rather slowly, and even it is a stolen vehicle. They're not wanted for something, at least as far as we know, you know, a more egregious crime. So we have seen them when these drivers start driving recklessly and putting other people in danger, other motorists out there, they back off completely. And according to Des, this is exactly what's happened here. They're still driving just really fast, Desmond, and you know, you want to think, could it be that they know that chopper is overhead, or they're just using this as a moment to still try to get as far away as they can in their mind?
Well, they're no longer going to see the sheriff's helicopter anymore because they have pulled off again. The watch commander said, just get out of there, get out of there. And so we're keeping our distance here as to try to not agitate this person either. You know, obviously we have a really strong zoom lens on this, so we're not directly overneath
just cut off that
this person right now. But now, and you see now there's no one near this guy. There's no one on the ground, no one in the air, and taking a blind turn on the wrong side of the road right there.
This is not going to
Still
end
just
well.
Incredible desperation, driving so great. You wonder what's going through the mind of the passenger right now.
Exactly.
If they're involved in any of this, if they're really terrified of what's going on. That poor dog in the back seat right now, probably just blasting through a light right there and oncoming traffic.
Did you see how close he got to that semi? He almost hit that semi tractor trailer head on. If we could go back and take a look at that, there's that red semi in the middle lane, if you will, and he got within just inches of hitting that
look
semi.
at now, Hooper Avenue and East 41st Street. You know, you would almost hope that that he would pull over and the passenger would jump out or get out. We've seen that in a number of cases as well, but doesn't seem to be happening here. And we understand this was a stolen vehicle reported yesterday. You know, we always try to think in our minds, does this person know where they're going? Do they have a destination in mind, where they live, or they can possibly drive and try to
busy intersection,
you know, dump this vehicle? Okay, Desmond, you are making some expressions up there. Tell us what you're seeing.
It's just so nerve-wracking. Now, there's a CHP officer who got involved, and I don't know if they just saw this person driving like this, and they said, I'm going to try to pull this person over, because there's been no coordination with CHP on this. Maybe there will be now. If the watch commander is watching this right now, they might need to call CHP and tell them to back off because this is so dangerous. Or, I mean, CHP can make their own decision if they want to be involved. But there's all kinds of pedestrians out. We just saw back on that street that had trees on it, the people that probably realized this is going on, and they came out. It looks like they might have thrown something at the vehicle, wanted to get on television, get a little footage probably for their social media feed. But we're on Vernon Avenue and barely even keeping control. Oh
my gosh, just
barely keeping
split
control
right
of this
between
vehicle.
two cars.
So close. Yeah,
this is very
I mean,
dangerous.
again, there's... Yeah, widen out, and I don't even see CHP, so they might have gotten the clue really quick. Okay, we're just going to let this go. Actually, they're hanging back now. My pilot just said that he could see them out the window, but going right in between those two vehicles, barely squeezing by. This is just a really, really ridiculous pursuit. Not even really a pursuit anymore. It's just this person driving like a complete maniac, so close there to that vehicle, making that turn.
Lucky this driver.
And just remind our viewers just how mild this started out. Look at this. This started out with this driver driving so very, very slowly, obeying traffic signals, and now he's just gone completely out of control.
Northbound.
There is another passenger in the car, female passenger, from what we understand, a dog in the back seat. Officers had pulled off. They tried to. That was really
This is going to end in a collision.
Well, let's hope it doesn't, Jeff. But there's certainly that possibility.
I don't see how this is going to end.
Well, let's hope it doesn't.
I'm sure.
We've seen some. We don't want that to happen. So I don't want to say that. I want to say I hope this person stops before there is some collision or someone else gets hurt. And I can't believe, no, I shouldn't say I can't believe, we've seen enough of these things where you think that this person knows. Look at this pedestrian. He's just carefully walking across the street casually. And here is this guy. I'm going to use your terminology, driving like a maniac. A menace to society right now. Anybody that's in that vicinity that's driving or even walking, as reckless as this person is. That was close.
I just can't believe, Des, how lucky this driver has become to go between vehicles and actually not hit anybody head on, to go as fast as 50, 55 miles an hour in between two cars through an intersection. An extremely lucky situation so far in this case.
Making those turns where he thought even the car was going to turn over. Yeah. Making that sharp turn. What was that white car?
And you know, fortunately, everyone on the road here has been extremely alert to everything in front of them and on the sides of them, all of these drivers, because we know how distracted drivers in Los Angeles can be. And here comes this person just hurling through intersections like a missile, like a 5,000-pound missile with this Jeep. And through all of this traffic, wrong side of the road, blind turns up to 60, 70 miles an hour. So it really is just so difficult for me to watch, and I don't know how this has not ended in a collision already as it is. It's very hard to imagine if this person continues this, that this is not going to end well. I just really hope that everyone's wearing their seatbelts, and most people I know, they do not tether their dogs down in vehicles. I hope the passenger is holding that dog in their arms right now. That's really,
well, a dog flying inside of a vehicle is very dangerous as well. That could we've covered situations where a dog that's not tethered gets loose inside of a car because of an accident, and that could certainly injure and kill people as well.
But the thing too is, you wonder, okay, you were driving so slowly at first, you stopped and you rolled down the window and showed a bunch of rolled up papers, whatever they were, to officers. You seemed agitated at this point. Stolen vehicle pursuit, then why are you taking these chances? Those are the kind of questions you always want to ask these people that are behind the wheel. Then why are you not only, you're ramping up charges for yourself, but you've also put other motorists and even pedestrians in danger by driving so dangerously, and even yourself and the people that are in the car. Makes you wonder what happened besides the officers, doing a pit maneuver or a spike strip. No, so what? They're officers. They can do that. It should have stopped in the first place, and you didn't. You decided to keep going, and now, or he slowed down a bit, thank goodness.
It's just somebody who doesn't want to go to jail. They know that the end result is going to be that they're going to be behind bars, and that's why they're acting this way. And take it from here, Des. Obviously, these are very close calls.
Really narrow streets here, just one lane of traffic with parking on both sides. You see a bunch of buses right here, some slow traffic, and this person just doing everything they can to get away from other vehicles. And you just wonder if they think that there's still law enforcement overhead somewhere that they can't see, or way back in the distance.
Over a median,
onto the train tracks now, onto the Gold Line train tracks right there. Fortunately, there was no train coming. But now we're getting towards downtown Los Angeles, and I'm kind of wondering, because we've covered quite a bit of distance now from East LA to Commerce through Southgate, parts of Huntington Park, now getting into downtown LA on San Pedro. We're going to be coming up through Skid Row shortly. Now I'm starting to wonder if this person is looking for a place to ditch this vehicle as we go underneath the 10 freeway. And let's hope that that's what this person is doing, and that they are going to get out of this vehicle and kind of do that casual walk like they're not the suspects that anyone is looking for, and just get out of the vehicle and stop gambling with everyone else's lives out here.
Well, if they could do that and do that safely, that would be a great result in the end of this pursuit. But unfortunately, they continue to dive 70 miles per hour on these surface streets, Pat, through these intersections, blowing through red lights, stop signs, evading police. Obviously, they stopped this pursuit because it got dangerous, avoided a spike strip and a pit maneuver. And
if he's going toward, Skid Row, he's on South San Pedro Street. Okay, what are you going to do here? Well, he's going around.
Turn on
you're also going to run into a lot of people on the street, and that's a very dangerous situation as well for people in this particular area. It's always crowded, and people are always out. This is where a lot of people live. Let's just face it, we're talking about Skid Row. There are so many people that are in tents or on sidewalks. So this also is a very a dangerous situation for them. I'm just thinking about everybody involved here.
Oh,
there's a motorcyclist, and he went up on the curb.
Almost went up on the curb, to avoid the motorcyclist.
The guy casually walking.
Did you see the guy in the crosswalk? He barely missed him.
Yeah, but he didn't even look up. So maybe he has his headphones on. I don't know. He's just oblivious of what's happening. He's making a lot of turns, Des and Jeff. He's making quite a few turns in this area.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
You wonder.
Yeah, Des, you have done a fantastic job keeping this speeding vehicle in the camera shot here. We've got to give you credit for that. Tell us a little bit about what you think is going to happen next here. Oh, right next to it, there's another, just inches from cars and people walking.
Yeah, we're really in the heart of Skid Row right now off of San Julian, and here you got someone out here with a shopping cart. Yeah. So now kind of circling back around the area, maybe they are going to ditch this vehicle right now, because this is really the epicenter of Skid Row. You're going to see a lot of tents out here, a lot of folks walking around. Right. And you saw that one pedestrian who, you're right, Jeff, just was not, it's just way too common of an occurrence in Los Angeles where people in crosswalks are not looking left and right at traffic. And this is exactly why you need to, because you never know when someone is going to come barreling through the crosswalk like this. So many close calls as we now head back eastbound on 7th towards Central and on the outskirts of the Arts District, another pedestrian-friendly area. Here you see a few more out here now, a southbound turn. So down into kind of the industrial warehouse area, back towards the 10 freeway, but making a lot of turns. And
yes.
I just really hope that this person is looking for a place to ditch the vehicle. Just get out of the car. You've evaded the authorities for this time. No one is chasing you. The vehicle is still going to be registered stolen. Just get out, walk away from it. The authorities can come recover it. So lucky that no one has been hit or injured in this so far. And enough is enough with this one.
Yeah, we just saw a person that a street vendor walking with his cart there, and this driver just drives right in front of him, almost hits that car there. We've seen quite a few near misses today with this driver, and again, we're just wondering, what are you thinking? What is the strategy here? He's making turns on different streets in the Skid Row area, in the industrial area of downtown Los Angeles. Crowded always at this time of day. People still work, people live in some of these lofts and warehouses there. And of course, we're talking about the homeless people.
Did you lose
Okay, we see him. He's behind that white structure, but that's a large white structure.
Boy.
Well, as Des,
okay.
As Des tries to center in, on the right-hand part of your screen is basically some of the close calls from earlier today on that inset box of him driving aggressive. This is a driver of a stolen vehicle with a female passenger and a dog inside as they go back to live. On the other side of the road, just aggressive behavior. Des, take it from here.
Yeah, and here we're going to go through another intersection just right in between the two cars. It's how many times? Oh, so many people.
See?
Look at that, right in between a huge group of pedestrians right there.
Yep.
And fortunately, those people were paying attention. Maybe he honked the horn at them. I don't know, but they saw him and they all stopped. They all froze immediately to yield to this maniac who I believe just made a turn on.
He's on Santee. Businesses.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they might have stopped behind this
white building here?
Okay, out on foot as we...
Really?
Out on foot, we just heard, and dang it, of course they ditched it when we weren't looking here behind this vehicle, but we just heard that they are out on foot. That is not
that the car?
Vehicle right there. No.
Okay, well,
I wonder if the dog got out of the vehicle.
At least thankfully the danger of the driving and the aggressive driving has come to an end as they have bailed out a driver and a passenger, a man and a woman, and we understand a dog with him as well. Now on foot in downtown. This is Santee Street and 12th in downtown Los Angeles.
Well,
thankfully, Pat, coming to an end.
Yeah, thank goodness that has. Well, they can certainly try to blend in with a number of their shops there, a lot of businesses. So it's interesting, though, how slowly or how quickly this happened. Where the vehicle was ditched, and where they are. Where did they run to?
So, Des, do you
especially
think
if they have a dog with them?
Yeah. Des, I know that obviously police were still in the area, kind of somewhat tracking this. Do you see any units there?
Doesn't look
sorry,
like it so
I'm just trying to get some hints from my assignment desk as to where this vehicle might be, but it was really kind of diabolical of the suspect to ditch the vehicle right behind this tall building right here when we were on the other side of it. We're told it's somewhere right in here. I think it's underneath this tree right here. Yeah, we'll try to come around to the south and see if we can get a visual of that vehicle, but they are out. A lot of places for this person to hide, and to our knowledge, authorities are nowhere in the area anyway, so they're going to be able to blend in very, very well. I mean, right here, you see Fashion Alley.
Yeah.
There's lots of places where they can just get out and act casual. They just look like a couple of folks that are out walking their dog. They just got off of work. It's a beautiful day down here, and they're going to be almost certainly successful in that. I'm still listening to the sheriff's deputies' frequency that this started on, and there is absolutely no talk about the end of this pursuit right now. We'll see if we can at least show you. Okay, look at this. So it actually ended by smacking into this light pole. Fortunately, didn't knock it down. So definitely someone saw that, probably wondered what's going on here, and these folks just got out. But the immediate danger to the public is over. They ran down this alley right here, as I said, down into the Fashion District. A lot of places to hide. They're probably going to blend in, and they got away for now, but at least, you know, it's just such a relief that that terrible danger to the public is at least over, Pat and Jeff.
And sometimes, you know, that's what you have to go with. You have to be glad at the end of the day that, yeah, no one was injured. No other vehicles were struck as far as we could tell, as far as we can see. They have the license plates, of course, on that vehicle, and I'm sure they will show up at some point. And who knows, you know, people do talk. Maybe those two, or the driver and whoever else was with him, may possibly find their day in court yet. Yeah, but we're just glad that this is ended.
I see some
people.
Okay,
look at these people.
I would assume that they're probably trying to figure out what all the activity is about. I don't know if that's necessarily the suspect. We do know the passenger was a woman, but obviously they are probably concerned after seeing a car that screeched and then hit this light pole that you see there, which is a stolen vehicle out of Lakewood that was stolen yesterday. Driver and a passenger, result of a police pursuit, kind of came to an end here in downtown. No sign of the suspects or the dog at this point in time.
It's a business right in front of a business.
Yep,
a number lined up there.
Getting a lot of attention. Do we want to go on to other news now, or do we want to stay with this? Okay, we're going to stay this.
We're going to see if maybe law enforcement shows up, if other people come and, well, obviously it's a spectacle here. It hit a pole, right, Desmond? Can you tell? It looks like it did it strike that pole?
Very, very close. As we continue to maneuver around and come around right here, might have just kind of bumped into it. Maybe the driver slammed on the brakes and just kind of tapped into that pole, because, you know, even at 20 miles an hour, an SUV like this is possibly capable of knocking over a light pole. So it must have been a pretty light collision, but definitely got the attention of some people. Here's someone going on, what is going on with this car right now? And, you know, look, okay, so they're saying, now I'm hearing that they may have actually gotten out and the vehicle just kind of rolled into the pole, so they might have left it in drive. Yeah. So everyone looking at, you know, how peculiar this is. But, you know, the vehicle is stopped. They are out of the car, and whoever this was stolen from, in theory, you know, they're going to be able to get their car back, or they're going to have to file an insurance claim. But, you know, this did not end in a total loss of the vehicle. It didn't end, incredibly, it did not end in anyone getting hit or injured or killed in this. After all that we saw, as much as you hate to see these suspects get away, this one could have ended, obviously, much, much worse. Yep,
and we're glad that it did not. All right, Des, we're going to let you call Code 4, and we will be right back with more news after this.
Downtown and News Chopper 4, back to you. There's LAPD now on scene. Okay, there's the first unit pulling up now. Copy that, Jack. The first unit of the LAPD is just pulling up right now. Alrighty, we're good, Jim. Thank you. Copy that, Jack. I don't know.